A lot of people think once they reach 60, there's no need for me to reinvent because I'm actually okay the way I am.
A lot of people are actually terrified to start over, especially after a big milestone birthday like 60. But we're going to talk to you today about 7 unexpected benefits of starting over after you turn 60 years old.
And we both started over. I mean, we had careers and then they ended. We had transition. And now we have a whole new life, spending time with our kids, planning weddings, our grandchildren, running this business, retirement transformed. My energy level is higher. My health is better. And I'm a lot happier than I was when I left my career. I thought I was happy then, but now I've realized I can actually be happier and healthier with this new phase of life.
Well, I think it started with us, honestly, when we started to take a firm look at what we were doing within what we now call the 7 pillars.
Right.
So I think by developing 7 pillars that you could kind of go back and reflect on, change immediately kind of just resonated. It wasn't like we woke up one day and we said, boy, we have to change our physical health and wellness or our mental health and wellness or our relationships or our spouse-partner relationship. Until we categorized, I think, the pillars, we didn't really even know what change needed to take effect.
Well, that's true. And the first thing I want to say that's unexpected benefit of starting over is that I left behind an old life that didn't serve me well, and now I feel better.
Be more specific.
I left behind the stress of work. I left behind the inability to sleep late. I left behind me drinking wine every night or a vodka tonic or something like that. I left behind my desire to always look my best, to be in front of everyone, to look for compliments. And now I'm much more healthier. I'm much more sort of like, it's not that I don't care how I look, but I think I look better because I'm working out 5 days a week. So I think I've done a lot of things that my emotions are better, my mental wellness is better, my physical wellness is better, that's making me really feel happier.
I would agree with that because I think it goes to almost the second point, starting over in core areas. And again, I go back to kind of the pillars. Starting over in the core areas really reveal to us not only who we want to become, but who we can actually become. Because we're no longer achieving to define like worth or wealth. We're achieving to do better for ourselves or our family or our spouse or partner or community. Our routines that maybe didn't have as much meaning. And I know you've said it before and I've said it before. You had that scheduled every Monday morning. We had a meeting at 8:00 with all our senior leaders so we could talk about A, B, and C. Or I know at Chubb, we had these elaborate things we had to do for clients and client reviews. Well, if you've had the same client for 10 years, you're basically taking up meeting space to talk about what you talked about last year.
Right.
Unless something is drastically changed and, old routines started to lose their meaning. So they needed to be replaced with more meaningful activities that were meaningful to life, not to our careers or our work.
I agree. One of the other unexpected benefits of redesigning yourself or reinventing yourself after 60 is you stop performing for people that barely noticed you anyway.
Is that an entrepreneurial conundrum as well? Because I know for me, it was a corporate America conundrum. Well, I picture the entrepreneur never worrying about who they're performing for.
So I'm in sales. My whole career was sales. I ran the insurance agency along with my brother, but I was really an outside person. So I was opening up new relationships every single day. So I was trying to perform, to be put together, to be smart, to ask the right questions and all of that. And many times I'm talking to people that don't really notice me anyway. So the point is now, after 60, almost 70, I'm really focused in on people that matter to me. That's who I spend time with. I'm having coffee this coming Friday with that guy that lives here, and he's an insurance agent, but I care about him. I care about my roommate from college that lives up the road. I care about other certain people, and that's where I put my energy. I'm not trying to put on a show for everybody. It's pretty focused.
So it's not those exhausting, invisible, like social expectations anymore.
No.
These are all things that when you pull it together, like you're going to this breakfast on Friday, you'll be dressed nice, you'll be, engaged in the business or helping him with whatever concerns he might have. And you do that in Marco Island as well with other business owners. So you kind of still dip in, but you do it on your own terms.
And I'm not looking for approval.
Right.
I'm not looking for comparison. I'm not comparing my career to his career. I'm not trying to please him. I'm just being authentic. I'm being who I am. And I think that when you can be authentic with somebody, you can draw them in and they draw you in. If it works, then you can become friends.
60 seems to be this really big milestone. I mean, I hit it a year ago and I just turned 61. So I've had a year in my 60s.